Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the whole entrepreneurial dream. We're going to talk about the unglamorous, the stuff nobody really wants to admit to, that hides behind all those glossy success stories. Let's get into what people like Steve Jobs never told you. We've all seen quotes like this one, right? It's the rallying cry. It's that vision of freedom and passion that gets you to take that huge leap in the first place. And look, it's powerful, it's inspiring for sure, but as we're about to see, it's really only half the story. And boom, here's the immediate reality check. That dream of calling all the shots and living your passion, it crashes head on into the reality of sending endless emails into the void and just waiting and riding this constant, gut-wrenching roller coaster of uncertainty. It's a jarring contrast, and honestly, that's where the real journey begins. And that clash between dream and reality, it leads you straight into the first major hurdle, that battle inside your own head. It's that quiet, nagging voice that starts asking, did I just make a terrible, terrible mistake? I mean, have you ever felt that deep, sinking feeling that maybe this whole follow your dream thing was just a massive miscalculation? It's a terrifying thought, and it's one that pretty much every founder has. And this feeling, it's fed by some very specific, very painful moments. Like when you're scrolling through LinkedIn and you see your old colleagues getting promotions in their stable jobs, while your inbox is just crickets. And then that crushing realization hits. Maybe people liked you for your fancy job title, not for you. You're just left in this lonely place where the biggest fear is that you're not going to live up to the person you thought you could be. That doubt you're feeling on the inside, it gets so much louder when you look at the actual work you're doing every single day. It's way less about those eureka moments and way more about the relentless grind of just trying to keep the lights on. You gotta love this quote because it just perfectly captures the soul-crushing exhaustion of the follow-up. Chasing leads, chasing investors, getting ghosted after you woke up for a 5 a.m. call with someone halfway across the world. It is a special kind of pain that, only founders really get. And this really gets to the heart of it. It's not about having some kind of superpower. It's about finding the willpower to just keep going, to send one more email, to make one more call, to just push yourself to your absolute limit, day after day. Okay, so let's talk about the other monster in the room, money. There's one thing almost every first-time founder learns the hard way. Your financial plan is almost always wrong. So you might start out bootstrapping with a nest egg you think is pretty decent. You saved up, let's say, $5,000. Feels like a really solid start, right? But then reality hits, hard. For most founders, you probably needed something closer to this. Underestimating costs is such a classic mistake, and your burn rate, how fast you're spending money, is just this relentless pressure. And that's why this boxing metaphor is just so perfect. Every financial setback, every rejection, every single struggle to make payroll, those are the punches. You don't become a champion by dodging all the hits. You become one by learning how to take them and somehow stay on your feet. So if the journey is this brutal, what in the world actually keeps a founder going? Well, the answer means we have to rethink a very popular idea. We hear about passion all the time. Follow your passion. And don't get me wrong, it's important. It's the spark. It's that amazing excitement you feel in the beginning when the idea is fresh and anything seems possible. But here's the thing. Passion isn't the fuel. The real fuel that keeps the engine running is persistence. Persistence is what you have to rely on when the fun is gone, when you're exhausted, and whenever a single sign is screaming at you to just quit. It's that gritty, stubborn force that actually makes things happen. So think about it like this. A year into your venture, you're not hitting your numbers, and that initial thrill is long gone. Passion is not going to get you out of bed in the morning. Only persistence will. That's the secret ingredient nobody ever talks about at this big startup conferences. All right, for our last big idea, we're going to talk about one of the most counterintuitive truths out there when it comes to building a business: the surprising power of making mistakes. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. We are so terrified of making the wrong choice, of making a bad call that could sink the whole company. But it turns out that's not the number one killer of startups. And there it is. The single most dangerous thing you can do to your business is to just get stuck. It's the paralysis of not being able to make a choice, to move forward, to just do something. Sticking with a broken model because you're afraid to be wrong is so much more deadly than making a bad call and then fixing it fast.
So this really changes the definition of courage for an entrepreneur, doesn't it? It's not about being right all the time. It's about having the guts to just admit you are wrong, to let go of an idea that isn't working, and to completely pivot if it means saving the whole venture. Now that is real strength.
And that brings us right back where we started, to Steve Jobs. But this quote, it feels different now, doesn't it? It's not about how easy the journey is. It's an acknowledgement of the craziness it requires. It's basically an admission that you have to be a little bit nuts to endure everything we've just talked about.
And I think that's the ultimate question here. Knowing the harsh realities, the self-doubt, the endless grind, and the brutal odds, the real question isn't just, are you passionate? It's, do you have that stubborn, persistent craziness to actually see it through?